lost, the sun goes down, I see it all. I write your name at the grocery store. I want to see what it's like to be you.
I have always struggled with anxiety. At school, I had someone tell me what to wear, what to do, at what time, what to study, and where to go every day. And as much as I hated that, I wasn't prepared for how hard life would be without it. When I finished school and was told I could do whatever I wanted to, I just froze. I followed the path that felt most comfortable. I didn't go to the college that I wanted to because I was scared of having to make new friends. I then dropped out of college and started seeing my current friends less and less. They went on to university and I stayed at home playing Minecraft. Whilst the world around me continued to move, I stayed stuck in place because all I could think was, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? And most of all, what will people think of me? Things did improve. With support from family, friends, and medical professionals, I was able to get to a point where I felt able to leave the house, get a job, and eventually return to college. My anxiety will never be cured. Fear is just a part of being human. But just because we have to live with fear does not mean we need to be controlled by it. For my final assignment at college, I was once again told I could do whatever I wanted. But this time, I chose to follow the path of discomfort. I decided to make a film documenting myself doing the things I want to, no matter how scared I may be of them. And I mean, when you think about it, what better excuse to do random shit than I'm making a student film. So I contacted a bunch of my friends and said, hey, what activities do you guys do that I've never done before that will be a bit scary for me? Which, to be honest, is not a hard criteria to fill. If something involves other people who I've never met being around me, I will probably be quite scared of it.
Right, where are we going?
I don't know.
That's not fucking relevant you.
So I met up with my friends Mason and Michael. They took me climbing, which is not something that I've never done before. I have been on a climbing wall more than once or twice. I've done a lot of climbing, but never in a actual climbing warehouse. As this was the first activity, the camera work isn't the greatest. No thanks to the untrained cameramen I was with.
You know what, fuck it. Whoa. Now we're on a tripod.
After being there for a little bit of time, I soon started to realise that this was not something out of my comfort zone. It's something that I have done quite a lot before, so it came back to me pretty quickly. Once my arms were sufficiently tired, We just spent the last few minutes using the soft mats to do flips. I'd say flips in quotation marks.
That's got a blister.
I thought I'd end the first day with a bit of a reversal. We went to just a Chinese fast food place. Mace and Michael had never attempted to use chopsticks in their life. I thought I'd give them a chance to do something new as well. In the end, it was a good day. Not quite as challenging as I'd expected it to be, but it was a good starting place for this challenge that I'd set myself. Now, how you feeling? Feeling a little camera shy?
A little bit.
Next week, I got in contact with my friend Josh, who goes to university down in Birmingham.
1 is a jab with your left hand. 2 is the backhand, like that. Yeah.
I decided to join in on one of his boxing sessions.
Let's go. Probably step out everyone's way.
If you can't tell, boxing isn't really a first calling for me. I'm not a very violent person. I'm also not a very athletic person. So exercising around other people is always uncomfortable for me, especially in something such as boxing, which I generally feel is not somewhere that I belong. When I first arrived at the boxing gym, I definitely felt very out of place. A lot of people were just kind of watching me, which was mostly down to the fact that I was carrying a tripod and a bunch of microphone gear around with me. So they were more looking out of curiosity than judgment, but obviously that voice in the back of my head was telling me that I really should not be there. I did not belong.
I mean, I'm scared of getting punched in the face and hurt, obviously, but obviously that's only temporary. For me, I have a very... I understand social experiences as very permanent. It was the single best decision I ever made to leave. I mean, I don't know, you can tell me if I am or not, but I feel like an entirely different person. Just thrusting myself in something completely new, leaving it all behind, it gave me the chance to become a new person. I could be who I wanted to be, and initially that took the form of me pretending to be someone I wasn't. I came and I was playing a character, the person that I thought people would think was cool. This year I've settled into my own skin a bit more, and I've just become way more confident in my actual self, and I don't need to pretend anymore.
When you're fully absorbed in working out, thoughts of what other people are thinking of you kind of get pushed out of your head. You don't have time to think about what others are thinking when you're too busy to even catch your own breath. Do you have any kind of things that you did when you were younger that you would now regret?
Making a series of rap videos.
That is the first one that comes to mind.
Possibly, yeah. We got like 2,000 views in total, so pretty public.
Do you not think you'll ever kind of come round to it and just own up and make them public again?
No.
I feel like there will come a time. But it's whether you decide to kind of like hide that part of who you were as a child, or just be like, yeah, that's who I was. I'm not that person now. Let's just laugh at it together.
Very true.
If you could go back in time to when you were making that kind of decision about whether to go to uni and what to do with your life, what advice would you give your younger self?
Fully go for it. Just throw it all against the wall. You'll be fine. I think that as well, just you'll be fine. It's gonna be okay, mate. You'll be fine.
I've heard people talk about this high you get after exercising, and I feel like I've never really felt that. But at the end of the session, and everyone just lay there, and all you could hear was just the laboured breathing of I did feel a kind of satisfaction.
First boxing session complete.
A kind of communal satisfaction. Even though I had never really spoke to anyone else in the room other than Josh, and we just kind of did our own thing, there was kind of a sense of like, good job guys. You did good. At least that's how it felt for me.
Hey guys, while you're here, subscribe to my OnlyFans. £10 a month. 30% off right now.
You didn't give the name.
Moody Magnificent Arse.
Are you cold? I'm sorry, it didn't work out.
One of the more unexpected things about filming me doing these challenges was how much of a challenge it would be to actually just do the filming itself. Like, put myself out of my comfort zone by doing, I don't know, boxing, climbing, playing games of strangers is all one thing, but I really underestimated how much discomfort would come from just talking to myself in front of a camera. I used to come to this part of the woods as a teenager, mostly to clear my head. I would sometimes just get drunk with my friends. But the last few months, it's slowly been being engulfed by a construction site. I don't know how much longer it's going to be recognisable for. So I guess this is my final farewell to all of those memories. I feel like I should say something that's motivational and really, really wise, but I don't have that. I'm just a 20-year-old college dropout. I'm not even doing this film for college anymore. I'm doing this film more for me. Getting a qualification, going on to uni, they're all other benefits, but at the end of the day, I came here just to get this spider off my hair. It's something I needed to do to better myself and to be able to actually just do anything else in life. When you want to do something, the moment you start to feel the discomfort is the moment you should jump for it. Don't sit there and let your thoughts brew, because all you're going to do is just make it seem so much harder than it really is. Just jump straight in. I had to get my third challenge done, which was by far the scariest. I'd spoke to my friend Owen, who we both had a shared interest in the more nerdy things, and in the past we'd both expressed that we had an interest in learning to play Dungeons and Dragons, the tabletop role-playing game. But as we didn't know anyone who already played, that meant we had to find strangers to teach us. And Owen is very similar to me. He is not the most social person, so there was no easy carry for this activity. I had to go and find a group and ask them to join myself. There was a reason that I left this activity until the last week, and it's because I was shitting myself.
For our newbies who haven't played any D&D before, then you can literally ask any questions and we will help you as much as we can.
Thank you.
Excellent.
That kind of looks like a little dude with a staff, so
Excellent.
if that's
My
all right.
character does have a staff.
Very
so-
careful.
Okay, thank you.
I can be this.
If you want, yeah, sure, use that.
I'll be that.
I use
Yeah,
this.
go for it.
Use that, yeah, that's awesome. So,
And this
yeah.
way I remember what class I am.
Elliot.
Just to preface this was a randomly generated character.
Yeah,
hence
improv.
the strangeness of
Do
it.
some
So
cool stuff.
his name is Men Manly. The first hour of the game, I felt very uncomfortable. In this room were 5 people who I'd never met and I knew nothing about. And I was immensely aware of the fact that they were all perceiving me. To go along with this, there is also a kind of inherent cringe factor to live role-playing. When our DM stood up and put on a voice while he was acting out one of the characters,
And goes, I'm looking for the adventurers. I hired anyone here for the job posting. Anyone?
I was nearly blushing purely from just second-hand embarrassment. He also regularly used the word awesome sauce, which I don't think I've heard said unironically in over like a decade. The rest of the group all joined in as well, speaking in character and just citing imaginary spells from memory. But none of them seemed to pay this any mind. I was the only one who seemed to find this embarrassing. For them, this was just a part of the game. D&D, for them, was a chance to leave their everyday life at the door and become whoever they wanted to be in a whole new world. I then realised no one in the room was judging me. It was only I who was, subconsciously, judging them. The awkwardness I had been feeling then changed to admiration. These people had managed to achieve the one thing that I was so desperately seeking. The ability to just be yourself and not worry about being judged. No matter what your hobby is, no one deserves to be looked down on for doing what they enjoy, so long as it's not hurting anyone else. It doesn't matter what other people think is embarrassing or cringe. If you enjoy doing something, you should just do it. My character that I made for the game did sadly end up dying. Rest in peace, Men Manly. 2023 to 2023. But I enjoyed the game nevertheless. I don't know if role-playing games are necessarily something that I will be doing regularly, but I'd do it again. It was a fun time. It's good to just, for 4 hours, forget about the world outside that room and just laugh around the table with other people. I had now completed all the challenges that I'd set for myself, and I thought a good way to end the film would be to get my friends together in a recording studio. We ended up speaking for nearly 2 hours, so I'll probably edit that into a podcast and upload it separately, but don't hold me to that.
I don't think it's very fair that me and Josh are circumcised and you two aren't.
It doesn't make a difference, there's no wind in here.
There will be
Oh, you did about the mics. I was very confused for a second. The funnest activities are the ones that kill us the fastest.
I don't know.
That really
A gun to the head
speaks.
isn't very fun.
Live
I don't
flash
think the
before
camera
you
got
die.
So, what did I learn from all of this? I don't think I necessarily learned anything new about myself. I think it's more the case that something I thought about myself previously, but didn't fully believe in, has now been proven to me with 100% certainty, and also documented for me to never forget. That thing being that I can do anything. Fear does not control me. It will be an ever-present part of my life, I know that. But I now also know that if given a reason, I can continue to move despite it. I don't have to stay stuck in place. 2 years ago, I felt like everything was out of reach. My anxiety loomed over my whole life and made me feel like I would never be able to do the things that would bring me happiness. If that version of me could watch this film, he wouldn't believe it. And if you were in the same position I was, where a normal life feels impossible, let me be proof that that isn't the case. Life can get better. You can learn to work with your emotions instead of against them. I think that's a huge contribution to just all the suffering in the world. Just the fact that so many of us have this belief that negative emotions are something to be avoided at all costs. But we have these emotions for a reason. It's our bodies signaling to us that something is wrong and needs to change. Avoiding fear and pain, or delaying necessary sadness and heartbreak, will only lead to wasted years and an inevitable breakdown. Because emotions can't be controlled. They will wear you down if you don't listen to them. Repressing emotions is equivalent to smashing a fire alarm with a hammer just to get it to shut up, while the house around you is in flames. These last few months have been some of the most stressful I've ever had, but I've also made some amazing memories. I'd do it all again given the chance. And I do aim to keep this going. The days all tend to fade into one when I'm not pushing myself to experience new things. And that's all that matters to me in life. Just making good memories with the people that I love.
This is a bit deep, but one thing I kind of sometimes regret, not currently, but sometimes I regret just continuing to live,
Bro.
because it's not even being depressed. I'm not depressed. I'm tired, and I know that everything I went through, if I did something sooner, I wouldn't have to. And I'm not suicidal at all. I'm not depressed anymore. I'm happy with my life. But it's just, things are tiring when you're getting older. And yeah, that's it.